Good morning. This is Tracy from Hands to Work, and this is a video about cross stitch. It is Saturday, December 7th. It's 12:30. I'm sitting in my family room, and my husband is in the living room watching football and basketball. He's switching back and forth. So if you hear that in the background, he has it turned down, but hopefully it's not distracting. I haven't been here in a while. I think the last time I did a video was mid-October, so I thought I needed to check in. This won't be a long video, but I just wanted to check in and update you, and I have a little announcement to make. So, what's been going on? Well, I finished up my mom's estate, which is good. Sad. It's very sad, but it's also good, and I'm glad that all that is done. The only thing left to do will be taxes during tax season, and then I'll be completely finished. It's hard being an executor. I was doing it, not long distance, but 3 hours away, and trying to go back and forth and get things done. But it's done, and it went well, and so there's that. We got a new car. We got it in October, I think. And we got a Subaru Ascent. I had been driving a Subaru Outback for a little over 4 years. And I had, I don't know, 110,000 miles on it. And it still ran great, but we thought maybe we ought to go ahead and get another one, and then we'll have it for a good long time. So we got a Subaru Ascent, which is kind of basically the same car, but just a little bigger, has a third row seat. And we got the one with the bucket seats in the second row. We really like it. It drives so nice, and it has a lot of bells and whistles, which are fun. The best part is the voice to text. So I don't do anything with my phone other than play music or listen to an audiobook or something like that. But it will read me text from my phone, and then I can reply, which is kind of fun. And Lily loves it because it's hilarious to listen to the girl read the text back, the voice, and because how she reads them, unless you tell her to put punctuation in, it's really funny. So the kids love to do that when they're in the car. Well, after we had it for maybe not even a month, or a month or so, I went out one afternoon to pick Wyatt up from school, and I noticed there was a great big dent like this and a big hunk of paint that was chipped off. We're not sure how it happened. Something hit it with a lot of force. I don't know if it was a lawnmower. I don't know what it was, but doesn't matter. We took it to Mako, and we had it fixed, and you couldn't even tell when it was done. It wasn't really crazy expensive. It was a little over $300. They had to repaint the whole door, but it looks great. So then, week before last, Chuck and I went to the movies with Courtney and John. We went to see Midway, and we always try to park, no matter what car we have, towards the end of a parking lot or where it's not as populated, but the theater is always crowded. And so there were cars, when we came out, there were cars on either side of us. And don't you know that someone hit the driver's side hard enough, and I'm guessing probably a kid got out of the car and didn't pay attention, and it hit so hard that it put a really deep dent and chipped the paint. So it went back to Mako. We've had the car 2 months, and we've already had 2 doors repaired and painted. Can't tell. Very frustrating to have that happen, but hopefully all that's done. I was telling a friend of mine, an old coworker, about what had happened, and she said, "You've had the weirdest things happen since you've retired." And it's true. We have had some odd things happen. So maybe we're done with that now. And of course, like everyone else, I'm working on Christmas. I have a little bit more shopping to do, not a lot. Have to get packages wrapped and bake cookies. We don't bake a ton. My favorite are orange cookies, which are a nice soft orange flavored cookie with orange buttercream icing. Oh, they're so good with coffee, and they give me the worst heartburn. And then Spritz cookies. I love Spritz cookies. I'll make a few dozen, not a ton, because I'll eat them all. We'll make a few other things, and then we'll have the kids over the Sunday before Christmas, and for Christmas dinner, I always make prime rib, so we'll have it on Sunday before Christmas, so Lily can come and we'll exchange packages that day. And then on Christmas Day, I think the kids will probably come back, but it'll be laid back, quiet. I don't know what we'll fix. Maybe we'll make a homemade pizza or something, just kind of a quiet day. So getting ready for that. And it's hard to believe that Christmas is going to be here in just a couple weeks. My goodness, time is going so fast. We had a good Thanksgiving. Family came, had a house full of people. Dinner was delicious. Of course, we all ate too much, but watched football and visited and had a really nice time. It's always fun. I really, really love Thanksgiving. So what I'm working on right now, I have two things I'm actively working on, and one is Lucy Red, because that is the sampler that is never going to get done. Feels like it's never going to get done. I'm getting close, but I pick it up, work on it for a while, and then have to put it away. So here's where I am. I have to finish all up in here. I finished this border, which is just straight cross stitch line down the side. And then there's little things I have to fill in here and there. Go back and look for, I know there's, I have to do some fill in here. But I'm getting there. It's just feels long. But once it's done and framed, I think it's a great sampler. I really love it. I'll be glad to get that one done. The other one I've been working on is Jean Morgan, and this is the Needlework Press and Tomorrow's Heirloom Stitch Along. And I got the 40 count weeks fabric linen, and I picked colors out of my stash because I'm really bad about ordering everything, or all the threads, kitting things, and then I have so many of the same color. So I decided to use my stash. I did make a few changes, and I did get one of the colors I got from Carol Sims. She had an extra one, so she gave me one. And then the red, it calls for ruby slippers, and that is not my favorite color. I know a lot of people love it, but I don't care for it. So instead I'm using silk, Gum Nuts, terracotta, and I think it's really pretty. It's nice, rich, has a little bit of orange in it, but it's not a ton. Has, you know, subtle variegation, and it's wonderful to stitch with. That's, the rest of them are over dyed cottons. It's really pretty. So this is I'm working on the second month homework and trying to finish that up early and get that done. Really, really pretty. The color does not show up in the camera as what it really looks like. Looks kind of gray, but it's not. So there is that. This has been a fun one. It feels like it's going really fast and it's easy, and I really like it. Of course, I can't wait to get down to this part because I love this. It's awesome. So those are my works in progress. And then I have other things that I've started and then put aside, and I need to get some of those out and finish them up. I probably should make myself one of those, the wheel, you know, the decision wheel, and put some of those unfinished things that I've lost interest in and work on them occasionally and get them done, because I have guilt associated with that. When I look at them, it makes me feel guilty, but I don't like them enough to, you know, it's always the new. I want to start something new, and there's so much. It seems like, golly, the last couple of years, everyone has been very prolific. Speaking of prolific, I don't know if you all saw Beth's Twist's new chart that she put out on Instagram this morning. Of course, I went right to her Etsy site and ordered it. What is it called? Whip It Good, I think. But it's all one color, real pretty border, and I think you could change the lettering on the inside, the phrase, but it's really cool. And she's donating, it's $11 and $10 she's donating to a nonprofit. So I like that idea, and It's a PDF, and then I think she'll, in the spring or summer, it will become a printed chart that you can order. But if you order it now, then you can get in on that donation, which is really, really nice. Beth does that a lot, and I think that's a great idea. So the only haul I've had, and I don't have it yet, so I ordered Marianne Frayne from Sassy Jacks, and I think it's going to be shipped out maybe sometime this month, but she's had the teaser for ages, the little flower from the chart that you could order, I think the card, and it had the chart on the back. But now the whole chart is ready, and I know I've been anticipating this for quite a while, and I got it on Cyber Monday, 50% off, so quite proud of myself for that. So that will be coming, and that's the only haul I've had since the last time I've talked to you. Not that it has been easy, because there's a lot that I want, but I'm trying to tone it down a little bit. From the vault, let's see. Oh, before I do that, I want to talk about a couple things, what I'm all into, because, you know, Teresa loves Kitten Stitcher. She loves that. She does that. That's what I'm all into this week. She sings it much better than I do, but what I'm into and what Agnes, my cat, is into. Agnes is into this table mat. Isn't this great? I got this from Lori, Not Forgotten Farm. I went down to her shop a couple years ago. I think I went with Carol Sims, and it has wool. The sheep is, I think it's what's it called when you do the, I don't know, with the needle and needle felting. So it's felted with like roving, and then there's a needle felted beard, and the Santa is stuffed. And so I'm guessing some of this is wool from her sheep. So it has that smell. Well, Agnes loves it. She has been attacking this. She's been rolling all over it. She wads it up in a ball and kicks it. She sleeps on it. She knocks it off the table onto the floor all the time. That's what she's into. So it was out last year. She didn't pay a bit of attention. The other thing I'm into, I love icicles. They're so cheap, and I don't know that a lot of people use these anymore in their Christmas tree. So, but I put them on every year. I love them. I just love the sparkle of them, and I'm all into sparkle on my Christmas tree. Got a lot of sparkly things on this little tree behind me, but I put the icicles on the living room tree. We've always had a fresh tree until last year. I got an artificial from Balsam Hill. It was on sale. I think it was a Cyber Monday thing. It's very, very pretty, and it's easy, and I know that Chuck loves it because he doesn't have to mess with the mess. I miss the real tree. We've talked about maybe just getting a little one and putting in here, but it's just not the same. But it's very, very pretty, and it's pre-lit, so we don't have to mess with the lights on it. Anyway, that's where I put all of my antique, vintage balls, and then I put the icicles on there because they're so pretty. I love them. The other thing I'm really into are these. My mother was not crafty, but she could crochet like nobody's business, and she made hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these snowflakes, and here's just a couple of them. And I would take them when she'd give them to me, and I would coffee dye them and then throw them in the oven, dry them, and I make strings of them, and I put them in my windows, and they're so pretty. I saw the idea from Martha Stewart years ago. Why I had never thought of it, but they're so pretty. So I'm going to make, my last one kind of fell apart, so I'm going to make a new one to put over my kitchen window. I love these. They're so pretty. And treasured because my mom made them. I am into Chex Mix because it's Christmas time and we never make it except at Christmas. So Chuck went to Walmart this morning, got the supplies to make it, and I'm going to make that this afternoon. We'll eat it all up and have to go buy more stuff to make it because it's that good. I'm into podcasts. I listen to audiobooks when I stitch, and I listen to them quickly, even when I get really long ones. Sometimes I'll listen to a biography. I listen to fiction. I listen to a little bit of everything. But still, when you sit and stitch for several hours at a time, you're through a book in no time. And I have a monthly subscription, so I don't want to buy any more than what I get. So I've been listening to podcasts, and they're a lot of fun. I really enjoy them. And then the other thing I'm all into Carol from Saltbox Stitcher all the time because she's amazing, and I wish she put a video out every week. But I'm especially all into her right now because of the situation in her family. Her daughter, Lindsay, was recently diagnosed with colon cancer. She's very young, early 30s, has 2 small children, and Carol's asked for prayers and thoughts, and I wish I was closer, that I could take meals over or help with the kids or do something, but I can't. But I can offer prayers and thoughts, and they have a GoFundMe account, and I donated some money to that because insurance doesn't pay for everything, and Lindsay's off work. She's not getting full pay. They have bills like everybody has, and I'm sure depend on her salary, so that's going to be a hardship too. So if you have the opportunity that you could donate a little money to that family, I know it would be appreciated. So anyway, keep them in your thoughts. And Carol's floss tube she did the other day was very touching and brave. I thought that she was able to talk about it and put that out there. It's hard. It's hard to talk about those things. So good for her, and best wishes for her family. Really think so much of her. Wish we were neighbors, and I hate as a mother that she has to go through this. So thinking of her. So okay, so now I'll talk about from the vault. I have this. Oops, it's not really in the frame properly. I don't know if any of you remember this piece, Ida Nolt, and this was a release of mine when I was designing. I'm not sure when I put this out, like 2005, 2006 maybe, long time ago, 10 years ago. And it's one of my favorite pieces, and I've had a lot of requests to re-release this, and so I've decided to do it. I'm going to re-release Ida Nolt. So this should be what my plans are. We'll just do this. Now that I have time, I am starting my business again, and I'm going to start designing and reproducing some antique samplers that I have. Sorry, gotta move on the chair. Kind of scary because working kind of takes the creativity out of me. Getting that back it takes time and it takes work and kind of rewiring your brain a little bit. There are some people who do work and creativity very well, but it didn't work out well for me. So I have decided to open up my business again starting in January, and I have opened an Etsy shop, but there's nothing there, and I don't know how that will work out. We'll see. I prefer just to release things wholesale and to shops directly or through a distributor or whatever, but I'm not there yet. So I thought an Etsy shop might be a good way to get started. I never was a crazy prolific designer where I was putting out things like Paulette Stewart, for example. She puts out so much and really amazing things. But I have a lot of antique samplers that I think need to be reproduced, and I have some older things that I had out that I think there's a new generation of stitchers that might like them. And then there are some that I had that I think are dated that I'd like to redo and update them a little bit. Some of my early ones were pretty simple, so I'd like to work on those. So anyway, that's my big plan. Scary. I'll tell you what the scariest part is. The scariest part is the way I used to put my charts together, I can't use anymore. It's kind of defunct. So I talked to Paulette and asked her what her suggestion was, and she uses Photoshop and Lightroom. And I'm struggling. I have to say that my charts will be released as soon as I figure out Photoshop and Lightroom. I don't know if I mean, I'm not a real technically savvy person, but it's overwhelming. And I'm working on it. It's slow going. I know I can do it, but I really wish I had someone to sit down with me. I've watched videos, and there's a lot of really good videos out there. My problem is I just want to know what I need to know. I don't want to know how to do everything in Photoshop. Just tell me, do this, this, and this. So if I had someone to sit down with me, I think that would work better. So I'm working on that, trying to find someone who can talk to this 59-year-old girl who is not tech savvy and say, okay, this is what you need to do. Don't worry about all this other stuff. Just do this. So that is I would say my biggest challenge of actually getting started with getting my business going again. So anyway, like I said, Ida Nolt is going to be one of them that will be released. She's so pretty. I did a reproduction sampler, and this is Marianne Holmes, and it's very simple. There's some over one here in the verse, but I did it on 40 count. It's just, I just like it. I like the black. I got it framed at Hobby Lobby. So let me show you the original, which is quite a bit larger. So here's the original. Oh, got the glare on it. Oh. Let me turn this lamp off and see if that helps. There. Okay, there's the original. And then here's the reproduction. So there's Algerian islets, a ton of them. That's what these alphabets are here. But you could also do them in Smyrna crosses if you didn't want to do the eyelets. I just love the way the eyelets look. And then the over one. That's the only specialty stitch, really. Simple. It could be done quickly. And I think it would be beautiful in red as well. So I will release that one. This is an old one. I mean, it is really tattered. This is Hannah Miller. And I released this one. It never sold that well. So I'm going to take a look at it and see, do I need to update the colors? What was it about my release that it didn't do well? Because I think it's a pretty sampler. And I really like, the bottom. I mean, there's a good bit missing, but I think it's charming. I don't think it says Williamsburg, August 10th, but there's no year on it. So anyway, I'm gonna look at that one at some point. I have a beautiful sampler that I got from eBay I cannot wait to do it. I haven't started working on it yet. Maybe this is better off. It's fabulous. I showed Carol Sims and she said, stop whatever you're doing and get that one reproduced. It's that cute. So I'm gonna have that one coming up sometime in the spring. And like I said, there's some of my own charts that I'm going to be putting out again, just because they're nice, and I think there's people now that weren't stitching at the time when those came out. So wish me luck. I hope it goes well. I'm quite nervous about it and a little bit overwhelmed, just kind of learning it all again. Really, being a designer is a lot. It's a lot to do, a lot to learn. I have to kind of reestablish some contacts that I had. So anyway, fingers crossed that it goes well, and wish me luck, and I'm always open for suggestions. Let me know what you think. And if anyone has any good Photoshop advice or Lightroom advice, please send it, because sometimes I look at it and think, I don't even know. I don't even know where to start. So I think that's all I have for this time, and hopefully I can get one more in before Christmas. Otherwise, I will be back. If time gets away from me, I'll be back in January, and then I will put on Instagram. I don't do Facebook, but Instagram, I'll put some information on there about when charts are available and how to get them if there's anyone that might be interested. And if not, that's okay. I love having them, and I love stitching new things, and we'll see how it goes. But I hope if I don't get back on here before Christmas, I hope everyone has a wonderful holiday, relaxing, enjoys time with their family. I know a lot of people are getting snow. We haven't had cold enough weather yet for snow, but I'm hoping for snow. I love it. If I'm going to have winter, I want snow. And now that we're both home, it would be great. So anyway, have a good week, and we will talk soon. Thanks.